If you're researching AquaTru Carafe, or you're trying to decide if a reverse osmosis countertop system is worth the money, I need you to hear something before you decide. A standard water filter is not going to protect your kidneys. I know that because I just found out that kidney disease runs in my family. Because when I started asking the real questions about what was in my tap water, what I found made a water pitcher filter feel like putting a bandage on a problem that needed surgery. Chlorine, fluoride, lead, PFAS. A pitcher is not touching most of that, especially microplastics. Don't even let me get started on microplastics. So I went for something that actually did. And 9 months later, the AquaTru Carafe is still on my counter. Let me know in the comments, do you currently filter water in your home? And if so, what are you using? I am genuinely curious because I know a lot of people watching this are dealing with the same questions that I was. I did not buy this because it looked nice or I saw it on an ad. I bought it because I needed it. Not pitcher filter water, not water that went through a basic carbon filter, not bottled water, water that has had contaminants pulled out of it at a meaningful level. I started thinking about my kidneys with every single glass of water I was drinking. Your kidneys are your body's filtration system. Those things do not belong in a body that's already fighting that family history of kidney problems. So I've researched countertop reverse osmosis systems for weeks. I looked at the data, the NSF certifications, the third-party testing, and I landed on the AquaTru Carafe. Here is everything we've learned over the last several months using this every single day. Before we get into this, I put together a free guide called Eat Clean, Drink Clean, Your First 10 Steps. If you are thinking seriously about what you're putting into your body and what steps you can take, regardless if it's family history, a health condition, or you just want to feel better, this is a great starting point for you. The link is right below this video. Download it and come right back. Now let me make sure we're on the same page about what this machine is and what it is not. The AquaTru Carafe is a countertop reverse osmosis water system. There is no installation. There is no drilling into your countertop. There is no plumber involved. You plug it in, you fill the back of the tank with your tap water, and the machine runs it through a 4-stage filtration process. What comes out sits right inside this glass carafe that fits right inside your refrigerator. The design is clean and compact. It does not dominate the counter. The carafe is actual glass, which matters to me because I'm not pulling microplastics and PFAS out of my tap water just to store it in a plastic container. And it fits in the fridge, which means cold water is always ready without any extra effort. Here's what the system is doing to my water in real numbers. My tap water comes out at about 300 TDS. TDS stands for total dissolved solids, which is a measure of what's floating around in your water. After running through the AquaTru Carafe, that number dropped to the low 30s. That's like a 90% reduction. Now, some people will hear 30 TDS and think that's still high. Now, here's the truth. TDS alone does not tell you whether what's in your water is either dangerous or harmless minerals. What actually matters is contaminant removal. The AquaTru Carafe is NSF certified to remove or reduce over 80 specific contaminants, including fluoride, lead, PFAS, and uranium. That is not something that standard water pitcher is touching. For anyone who's dealing with kidney health or family history of kidney issues, that list is not abstract. Your kidneys filter your blood. They pull waste out and push clean fluid through. When the water you're drinking is already carrying a contaminant load, your kidneys are working overtime. Reverse osmosis removes those contaminants before they can even get to your body. That is the real value here. And it's why it's not a luxury purchase for me, it's a necessary one. The taste difference was something I was not prepared for. Coffee tastes better. Ice cubes come out clear instead of cloudy. I stopped buying cases of bottled water within the first 2 weeks and I wasn't even planning on doing it. It just became that obvious. Let me walk you through what exactly is happening inside the machine, because I think it'll help you understand why this filter works and other filters do not. Stage 1 is a pre-carbon filter. This handles sediment and chlorine before the water moves any further. Stage 2 is a reverse osmosis membrane, which is the core of the whole system. It forces water through a membrane at the molecular level, blocking contaminants that a standard carbon filter cannot touch. Stage 3 is the VOC carbon filter, which catches any remaining volatile organic compounds after the oral membrane. Stage 4 is the one I want to spend a moment on because it's often misunderstood. Here's something most people do not know about reverse osmosis water. It does remove bad contaminants, but it also does remove beneficial minerals like magnesium and potassium, which your body uses. For anyone thinking about kidney function or overall hydration, minerals matter because they affect how your body processes and retains water. Remineralization adds those things back in after filtration. And if you want to manage it on your own, you can use the standard carbon filter and use mineralization drops. AquaTru gives you both options. And hey, and if at any moment while you're watching this, you say, hey, this is something that I want to learn some more about, or you want to see what bundles they have, I left that link right below in the description so you can check it out and see what they have to offer, because AquaTru's always having sales. But let's get back into this. Now, I want to be honest with you what it's like living with this machine day to day. This review will do you no justice if I skip over the real stuff. The carafe holds about 1.5 liters of filtered water. When you pour from it and set it back in a unit, the machine senses it's not full and starts refilling automatically. It makes a quiet hum while it runs. It is not loud, but it's there. From completely empty, it fills in about 10 to 12 minutes. That is not instant, but it's not also something that you just stand there watching. You pour it, set it back, you walk away. There's also a small waste tank. Every reverse osmosis system produces wastewater, and the AquaTru Carafe runs at roughly a 4-to-1 ratio. For every 4 gallons of clean water filtered, about 1 gallon goes in a waste tank. The water is not harmful. I use mine on plants. You can use it for cleaning. Nothing has to go down a drain if you're intentional about it. The indicator lights on top of the unit tells you when the wastewater tank needs emptying and when the water filter needs replacing. There is no app. There is no subscription model. The light comes on, you handle it, you move on. 9 months in, that simplicity is one of the things I appreciate most. All right, some honest pros and cons after 9 months. No permanent installation. For renters, for apartment dwellers, for RVers, for anyone who does not want to modify their way of living, this is a solid option. Plug it in and it works. Contaminant removal that actually matters. Fluoride, lead, PFAS, chlorine, and over 80 other contaminants. Lead, fluoride, PFAS, chlorine, and over 80 others. If you're managing kidney health, if kidney disease runs your family, if you're someone who wants to take a bigger role in your management of your life and of your health, or if you simply don't want to be drinking those things every single day, this machine addresses that on a level a pitcher filter can never get to. The glass carafe, no plastic, no microplastics. It keeps water cold in the fridge and it does not feel like it's a compromise. The taste. If you've ever had reverse osmosis water, and you know what, let me ask you, have you ever had reverse osmosis water before? Clean, crisp, noticeably better. Once you start drinking reverse osmosis water, you don't want anything else. And let's talk about the cons. Capacity. If you are a large family or you all are some serious water drinkers, you're going to be refilling this more than once a day. And that's not a deal breaker, but it's worth mentioning. And what we do in our household that we'll get around that is we have an extra carafe. It just makes sense anyway. That way we never have to wait for water on top of that. The remineralization question. Reverse osmosis removes good minerals as well as harmful contaminants. AquaTru gives you a filter to add those back in, but you have to be intentional about it. It is an easy fix. It's just not an automatic one. The wastewater ratio. The 4-to-1 ratio is something to think about. Reusing the wastewater for your plants or for cleaning reduces the impact significantly. The filter question comes up constantly, so let me give you a straight answer. The VLC carbon filter lasts about 12 months or 600 gallons. The reverse osmosis membrane lasts about 2 years or 1,200 gallons. This is not a system where you're buying new filters every week or every few weeks. When you work out the actual cost per gallon of clean water, it works out to roughly 11 to 19 cents. Now compare that to what you're spending on water right now. The AquaTru pays for itself. I'm telling you, once you stop buying bottled water, you are never going to look back. If you want to check the prices to see what bundles are available, or if you want to find out if there are any deals that they have running right now, the link is right down in the description below. They sometimes bundle extra filters with those packages, so it makes the value go even further. Let me be specific about who this machine is truly built for, because I think that matters more than just some generic recommendation. If kidney health is something that you think about for yourself, or maybe for your family, your drinking water, as you know, is no small thing. This is one of the most accessible ways to deal with a contaminant load without having to deal with any plumber or any type of foolishness that's going to disrupt your life. If you're someone who deals with poor taste in water, here in Indiana, our water quality is horrible. If you're someone who has allergies and has to use some sort of nasal device like I've had to use before, or maybe you just really want to have really purified and clean water, this gives you a consistent, reliable source without you having to go to the store and buy gallons of water every single week. It adds up. Trust me, I know. If you don't want to touch, if you don't want to drill anything, This system was designed specifically for that exact situation. If you are a large family, you want to think about capacity before you buy. It's not a reason for you not to get it, it's just for something you know going into it. Do I regret buying it? Not once in 9 months. Would I buy it again knowing what I know now? Without hesitation. Not because it's flashy, but it's pretty sexy. Because it quietly does something every single day. It's making sure the water going into my body and through my kidneys is as clean as it can reasonably be. And that is worth a whole lot to me. If you want to check out the AquaTru Carafe, the link is right below this video. Buying through this link gives you a discount that Amazon does not include. Put both links in the description so you have a choice. And if you are ready to get serious about what you eat and drink, don't forget my free guide. It's called Drink Clean, Eat Clean, Your First 10 Steps. And it walks you through the first 10 steps that you can actually follow and that you're gonna be excited to complete. And it walks you through the simple, practical steps you will actually follow through on. Please let me know if you have any questions. I really do read those and I'm happy to respond to them. I wanna thank you all for taking the time to watch this. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video next.